Hello, my name is Priya Rane, and I wanted to take a few minutes to reflect on the COVA method and creating a significant learning environment. And I wanted to start by saying that the growth mindset has had a major impact on this entire process and this journey through the Applied Digital Learning program for me. So, the way that I set up this reflection has to do with the growth mindset completely. I want to start a little bit by elaborating on the COVA method. COVA is an acronym for Choice, Ownership, Voice, and Authentic Learning Opportunities in an Significant Learning Environment. And at first, when I heard these extra letters and words, I was like, okay, cool, great, new acronyms. But really, my learning philosophy now centers around the growth mindset, and I believe that COVA and CSLE are not possible to implement or sustain without the growth mindset. So, also to elaborate a little bit on the growth mindset, Dr. Dweck said in a growth mindset, people believe that their most basic abilities can be developed through dedication and hard work, and brains and talent are just the starting point. So, this view creates a love of learning and a resilience that is essential for greater accomplishment. In the last 10 or so months, this idea, it's not something I was exposed to just in this program, but it wasn't something that I took the time to try to implement. And so, in this process of trying to implement a growth mindset and trying to model it for the participants in my innovation plan, I've learned that a fixed mindset, it doesn't just disappear. And a lot of incorporating a growth mindset involves unlearning the fixed mindset tendencies that we each have so that we can actively incorporate the ideas of a growth mindset. And again, that was my aim to do that in this reflection as well. So, quickly to recap my innovation plan, the focus of it was to promote social emotional learning and the concept of a growth mindset in a blended learning environment. So, my plan was rooted in addressing the biggest barrier that I was facing in my organization, and it was one that I noticed a lot of other people were facing as well. The biggest challenge I faced while implementing my innovation plan was maintaining the balance between the behaviorist and constructivist principles of this plan. So by incorporating SEL, I really did get to learn a lot more about the tendencies of the mind and why we behave the way that we behave. And it does overlap so much with the way that we as humans learn, but just needing to keep that separate at times was a little bit of a challenge for me. So let's get started. I wanted to reflect on each piece of COVA and the concept of CSLE. Through a fixed mindset lens and a growth mindset lens. So again, when I first heard about the COVA method and when I was given so much choice in each of the assignments in every class, my first response was, I'm confused. What do you want me to do? And is this really all the information that you're giving me? And again, over the months as I got to retraining my brain, using the word yet a lot more and reminding myself to shut off that fixed mindset voice and replace it with growth mindset terms and language, I started to ask better questions. And as a growth mindset response to choice, I started to say things more like, what do I already know and what do I need to learn? Who can I ask for help and where can I get help? So similarly, my fixed mindset response to ownership was, oh my gosh, I already have so much to do. I don't have time to watch more videos, to read more books, and to learn new things. And that might sound very small-minded, but in our lives, each of us has so many responsibilities and daily tasks that we're all already bogged down with. So really taking the time to identify why we're doing what we're doing was the most important starting point for me. So my growth mindset response to ownership was, what's my why? How much can I handle right now? And how is this information going to help me and others? The third component of the COVA method is voice. And especially in the position that I was in for the last year, I really would feel a lot of times like, why would anyone listen to anything that I have to say? And I learned to turn that around by thinking and saying, I am an expert in my field and I would like to influence change and learn with you. Where can we start? And that really changed the way that conversations were facilitated between me and anybody that I was talking to. Lastly, having these authentic learning opportunities felt impossible, and it felt like that really didn't exist. But again, transitioning to that growth mindset voice helped me to ask the question, well, I already have learned about these other components. And so what role do choice, ownership, and voice have in creating these authentic learning opportunities? If even one of those components is present, then we're getting closer to building that authentic learning opportunity. And all of this is part of creating that significant learning environment, which at first I was like, okay, well, I'm doing the best that I can, and it's not up to me to make this happen. If my participants and my learners don't take interest, there's not much more I can do. And definitely when things got difficult, when barriers came up, it was much easier to really relate and be bogged down by that voice in my head. But eventually I was able to ask myself, how can I make this happen? Which of these factors are in my control and which of them is the easiest to manage so that I can achieve my goals? My innovation plan, I just want to start by saying not using COVA and not trying to create a significant learning environment, it doesn't really feel like an option anymore. It naturally fits the needs of today's learners, whether we see it that way at first or not. And it's definitely something I will continue to do, even though I'm going to be transitioning into a new role and into a new part of my life. All of this has had a major impact on my personal life as well. And I hope that by you exploring my e-portfolio and some of the other resources that I've been able to develop, that you will see the impact that it can have on your learning as well. Thank you for watching.